Welcome back. They call her the AOC of Tennessee, but resurfaced audio shows she has some rather strong and negative feelings about her city.
I hate the city. I hate the bachelorettes. I hate the pedal taverns. I hate country music. I hate all of the things that make Nashville apparently an it city to the rest of the country, but I hate it.
She tried to walk it back, but it didn't go so well.
As a Nashvilleian, I think we all get a little annoyed with the tourists that come to town, but that doesn't mean I love my city. In fact, instead of sitting on the sideline and complaining about it, I decided to run for office.
And she didn't walk back this 2019 op-ed, calling the state and the legislature that she works for racist. Then just last year, she said this about prayer groups in the state legislature.
As someone who is more secular, I have a hard time when religion is at the core of everything we do in the legislature. And so, for example, on the House floor, we say a prayer every session. Some committees open up with prayer. We also stand for the pledge. And there are also prayer groups in the legislature that meet routinely. There are Christian pastors that have a lot of say and proximity to power in the legislature and dictate a lot of what the power players do. And it is uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable by prayer. Wow. And apparently she has some interesting thoughts about motherhood as well.
My therapist always asks me to transcribe my dreams when they happen. And the recurring dream I've had is standing up in a cafeteria full of women and saying, I don't want children, I want power.
Quite a dream. When someone tells you they want power, it's best not to give it to them. But what does she want to do with that power?
In Congress, here's what I'll actually do to bring down grocery prices. One is crack down on corporate price gouging and break up the big food monopolies that are driving up costs. Two is pass a national ban on price gouging so that companies can't rip off working families.
One problem with that. As of last year, the profit margin for grocery stores was 1.7%. In other words, for every $100 sale, they made $1.70 profit, a far cry from price gouging. She also tried to blame Republicans for inflation.
If you are not okay with the chaos at our federal government level, and if you are upset with the cost of living and the increase in inflation, then I am your candidate. I'm your candidate.
Well, she seems to be ignoring one key detail. Yet again, when it comes to inflation, prices soared under Biden. You see it there. She supported Biden, not President Trump. And in fact, it's not much of a contest. President Trump does better on everything from groceries, gas, and even overall inflation. Joining me now is the man endorsed by President Trump, Republican Tennessee congressional candidate Matt Van Epps. Man, Matt, your opponent here, Aftyn Behn, prayer, motherhood, taking a shot at the city she wants to represent, music, and yet Emerson says this is a two-point race. Do you feel this is a two-point race?
Well, good morning, Kaylee. So honored to be with you. No, we're out in front right now, and we're going to win decisively on December 2nd. I'm asking all Republicans and anyone who doesn't want a radical socialist in office to vote for us on December 2nd. And the distinction here could not be more clear. I'm a Christian, a husband, a father, an America First conservative, and a combat veteran. I was an Army helicopter pilot, worked in small business here in Nashville, served in Tennessee state government, and still serving in the Tennessee Army National Guard. And we will win decisively on December 2nd when everybody puts their jersey on and gets on the field and stands behind us.
You know, you mentioned you're a father, you're a Christian, and I know there's a day that weighs heavy on your heart, much like mine. It was when we covered live, I was on the outnumbered couch, the shooting at Covenant High School. And there were young kids there too, I should note. And a little girl lost her life in that shooting along with others. And 1 month after that Covenant shooting by a trans shooter, this is what your opponent said.
In the wake of the Covenant shooting and the disclosure that the Covenant shooter was trans, I was pulled into a chat with other trans organizers and activists across the state that were fearful of their lives. We identified threats from right-wing groups that they would show up at these Trans Day of Visibility events and threatening our trans kids. I decided we need more people talking about the protections for trans kids and our trans communities at the legislature every day.
A little girl died in that shooting. I mean, my priority after that was how do we protect our kids in schools?
Yes. it's just crazy. And to go a step further, my opponent wants to defund the police. She was out filming her bullying and harassing ICE and the Tennessee Highway Patrol as a sitting state legislator. That is disqualifying. It's totally unacceptable. She wants to abolish prisons, so I guess she just wants criminals to be roaming the streets. And those policies will increase cost of living. To go back to that first point, she wants new and higher taxes to fund her socialist agenda. She's been endorsed by the Democrat Socialists of America. All of these are failed policies. They're not right for Tennessee, and they're not right for America.
Yeah, endorsement of the DSA, that seems to be a trend. New York, Seattle, now Tennessee. I mean, I'm curious your message to MAGA voters. President Trump uniquely motivates MAGA voters. They turn out for him. They don't necessarily turn out in other elections, but they have to turn out. And the balance of power could be at stake. We know Marjorie Taylor Greene is leaving. That House majority is getting closer and closer. So what's your message to MAGA voters who need to turn out?
Well, this election is so critical. I'm honored to be endorsed by the president, honored to be endorsed by over 50 local leaders across our district. We're going to keep the border secure. We're going to decrease cost of living by focusing on healthcare, childcare, by unleashing Americans' energy dominance through nuclear, oil, and gas. We're going to cut red tape. We have the solutions that will decrease cost of living, that will keep us secure. We back the blue. I just met with over 25 local sheriffs and chiefs of police, and we'll always have their back. We'll always support our military veterans, the farmers, and all of our business leaders. I've been honored to also be endorsed by the NFIB. And on Small Business Saturday, we stand with small business, and we'll always have their backs.
Matt Van Epps, you have a big, big race Tuesday. We will be watching. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.